Good morning, everyone. I'm a couple of minutes early because I'm trying something new. So I'm going to ask, excuse me, those that are online, would you please let me know if this is helping? I have a little microphone. I think there's a little bit of an echo when I do this otherwise. So, okay, they're notifying you that I'm online. Anyways, I think there's a little echo because I'm in my office. The office, look at this office. There's a lot of it's small, and so there's, the echo that happens in here. So I don't want it to be uncomfortable. So if somebody's online, I'm going to wait a minute before we actually start, and hopefully y'all can send a message. Somebody please. And let me know if you can hear me better with this microphone or if it's better to just go back to where we were. Okay, so still waiting. Jeff, does this sound weird with this microphone or is it okay? Type a thumbs up if we're good or it's good. Okay, so I should continue. You can hear me okay? Manya, you can hear me okay with this? Thumbs up I'm going to take is yes. Okay, good. All right, so let's get going with my little microphone. Yeah, weigh in if you guys feel like this is better doing it with a microphone versus just talking through the phone. Hi, Manya. Hi, Howie. Because it just, it's an echoey. Okay, so good morning officially. Hopefully everybody had a chance to see the eclipse, the lunar eclipse. Our eclipse was eclipsed by clouds, so I didn't get to see it. But I am really grateful to those who sent me, hi Peter, hi Rocio, who sent pictures of it because it looked like the silver moon. If anybody saw it, there were tendrils coming off of it. And for those of you who, hopefully nobody was at sea, because those of you that know the silver moon, you know it is not very nice and not very friendly with seafarers. So, silver moon last night, watch yourselves, and thanks for sending the pictures. So, I'm going to address right here, there's going to be somebody making a comment about my t-shirt. I'm sure it's backwards. Hi, Dale. Because it's with my phone. So if it's backwards, cross your eyes like this, and it'll look normal. Anyway, this is actually, yes, an official Sea Shepherd t-shirt. Many of you know, I believe in causes and supporting causes. So the proceeds out of my books, from the sales of my books, go to different causes. And I change them up every year. One thing that stays is always animal rescue and helping with animal rescue, but I will go to different companies. So one year it was the Sea Shepherds, mainly because they're pirates, not because they needed my money, but because they're pirates and I believe in what they're doing and to make the efforts that they're making at their own risks. And, it's a great show too on TV. But it's to save those whales, illegal whaling in Japan is not cool. So I donated sales from the proceeds of my book to that. And they sent me a bunch of t-shirts. So I got a couple of t-shirts throughout the year. It was really fun. And so every year I do something. One year it was the Gold Star Foundation to support children who wanted to go to college from fallen soldiers. And that was awesome. That was up in Washington. And so I did the Gold Star, and I probably will pick another Gold Star or come up with that again somehow. This year I'm actually supporting a couple causes. One of them, of course, is literacy with my publishing company, Dose Blant. They're supporting literacy in the United States. So I'm, on the board with them. But then I'm also supporting, this is cool, Flex watches. I'm using them to help support my cause. Okay, this is not a plug for them. This is just so you know what I'm doing. So see, that's backwards again. So cross your eyes like this. Flex watches, this is the coolest box. They have different causes that when you buy one of their watches, they put that money toward whatever your cause is. They've got 10 different styles and 10 different causes that they support. So I picked my favorites. And so this is one of them, that watch. I don't know if you can see. Can you see that? That is dogs on there. They look like they're little Dalmatians. This is to support animals dogs, dog rescue. So that watch is there. Honestly, I can't remember what this one is. I think this is the ocean, to support whales in the ocean and that kind of thing, humanity. And then, let's see. These boxes are actually really cool. Oh gosh, I'm trying to do this one-handed because I'm holding my phone with the other. Okay, I'll show you. The other one, I can't get it out. Oh, here it comes. Okay, this one is plain. This one's hunger. This is to support hunger. It's plain black band, and it's got watermelons on the front. I thought that was really cute. And so that's to support hunger in the United States. And there's probably going to be another cause that comes on top of that. Like, I'm looking into going into 3 Squares, which is a company that's a nonprofit that is teaching children how to eat. Oh, Manya asked how much. It's $50. It's through Dulce Blant. So when you go on to Dulce Blant, and $50 is what Flex charges. So we're not taking any profit on it. So Dulce Blant set it up where you can go in and buy a book, any book or number of books you want, and then buy a Flex watch, and then the money for the Flex watch goes to Flex. So you support the cause and get a really cool watch and then get your books. And I'll give you a secret code that you can use so that you can get a discount if you do this between now and the Authors Con. To save on books. So you save a little bit. Okay, this one, I don't know if you can see that. This is kind of funky art looking stuff. That is to support the arts. And I think it goes to the schools. I don't know for sure, because like I said, Flex is the ones that handles it. We just order the product. So those are the 4 that I requested. Those, I only have one of each because I could only afford to buy, I paid the $50 too. So you're just basically reimbursing Dulce Blant, who will reimburse me. But anyway, so these watches are going to be with my books. So if you buy any of my books, or you can actually buy any of Dulce Blant's, and if they something just fell. if they sell it, then we can send a watch to you, and they'll send a watch to you. So whatever you want. Anyway, $50 for the watch. I think it's all on the Dulce Blant site. If you want to save money, hi Susie Poozy. If you want to save money on the books, use this code, Savannah Con, one word, all caps, and you will get a discount. I think it's 5% off the books. So you can get a discount on the books and save a little that way. Okay, there's my plug for what I'm doing, and that answers these guys. And if anybody has a cause that they want me to support in 2018, I would love to do that. So just let me know what your causes are. Okie doke. So the questions coming up. We had some good questions this week. They weren't as hard as last week, so I don't feel overwhelmed. I'm going to put my arm back up on this thing. Okay, and try and hold still. The first question is coming from Chris. Chris and I worked together with Manya in the ER in Oceanside at Tri-City years ago, and she's a really great nurse. And she's also a writer. And so she asked a question about publishing. And so I'm going to read her question, then I'll do the best I can to answer it. Some of you probably already know my answer. Okay, her question from Chris. Is publishing your own book, novel, or poems expensive? What could I expect to pay in upfront costs? So Chris, and everybody else that has that same question, I am not a huge proponent of self-publishing, and it's not because I don't think it's a good venue, but the reason that I hesitate about that is because I don't think there's distribution behind it that will support getting your books exposed and out in the public the way it needs to be. Now that's based on my goal for exposure of my books. If you're only writing a book and we kind of talked about this before, so I'm not going to get into a whole lot of detail. It's in a previous Q&A. But if you're writing a book and you just want to get it in print, maybe say for your family, or just to have it to be able to put it on your bookshelf, whatever your reason is, and you really don't care about exposure, public exposure, then self-publishing is a good way to go, because the distribution, meaning the highway or the avenue or the ability to get it into the hands of retailers, doesn't exist with self-publishing. And I know there are a lot of self-publishers who are going to argue with me about this, and I respect where you're coming from in your position. But my experience has been that even the best self-publisher is going to have one heck of a time getting their books into Costco, into Walmart, into any of these retail stores, sometimes even Barnes and Noble, unless you know the manager and can go in and talk them into getting your, doing a book signing. They probably won't put it on the shelf because they just don't have any way to order it with the discounts they need to sell it and with the return policies they need on a global scale. So I know I'm going to get some hate mail on that one. Sorry, not intended. But anyway, so the answer to your question is yes. It is expensive depending upon where you go. If you go to a publishing company that will, charge fees for every piece of the publishing pie, I think it can add up to be really expensive. A lot of authors have opted to go with CreateSpace. And CreateSpace is Amazon's version of a publishing company. And they do make it available on Amazon. The e-bookstore, Barnes & Noble, I believe, will carry a CreateSpace book, but they don't put it in their stores. So I think CreateSpace is a little less expensive. Again, it just depends upon what you want. And upfront costs, she says, what can I expect to pay on upfront costs? I don't know. Contact the publishing company you're looking at. Ask them what they think about upfront costs and what they expect. A lot of them will work with you, some won't. So I would just email and ask and see what they say. I hope that answered your question. That's a little touchy subject for a lot of authors because everybody's very passionate about their books and where they're putting them and how they want them published. And again, it's all personal. It's all based upon what you want and what you're trying to do. Hi, Mark. What you're trying to do. Manya says she feels like we're visiting. I wish we were, Manya. I miss you. Oh my goodness. We had some great times working at ER. Manya's another amazing nurse. Amazing nurse. Okay. Hope that answered the question. Okay. The next question is from Cindy. Cindy Wade, who I adore. Cindy is such a good friend. And I like her question because we've talked about this together. Hi, Melissa. Melissa's an amazing attorney. If anybody needs an attorney, you want to contact her. Okay, so Cindy and I have talked in depth about one of the characters in the Deja Vu Chronicles. And the character we talked about is Mariel, who is Catherine's grandmother. She's a Celtic witch back in the 1800s, and she teaches Catherine how basically to be the same, how to be a witch. And she's like a muse and a mentor and one of my favorite characters. And Cindy has told me that she is her favorite character in the book series. So I'm really glad she's asking this question. So her question is, excuse me, will we be seeing more of Mariel? I would love to hear more about her and her roots and her ancestry. So Mariel plays kind of a backstory role throughout, but her role is very important and very significant. I want to bring her out a little bit more in the fourth book, which I'm still writing. And I'm slow with it because I want to tie up all the loose ends, but I also want to make sure that I haven't closed the door on maybe a secondary or another backstory that needs to be brought out. Mariel being one of them. Another one is Thomas Bourne. Man, that guy, he's like blossomed, and I didn't even create him. I didn't plan to create him. He just kind of grew himself in the middle of writing. So I got to figure out what to do with that guy. He's probably going to figure out for me what to do with him. But I think it's going to be significant. So Mariel is the same way. And Mariel, yes, I want to develop her more. Something has happened that, and I can't say a whole lot. It's all good stuff. But I was asked to adapt some things in the book for another project entirely. Won't affect the books. And in the process of considering how to do that, one of the concepts was, or thoughts that I had, was to write a prequel to even Midnight Omen. So who is Mariel? Why is she important? What about Alex? Why is Alex important with Mariel? What about Catherine as a little girl? And where does Brooks, aka Seth, come into the picture? So that is actually a project that I have started. So the answer to your question is, Cindy, you will be seeing more of Mariel, probably discover, what she's all made up about and how she came about. Hi, David. Because, Manya just said blah. I hope that's not because of what I'm talking about, Manya. But anyway, so she's somebody that I'm going to talk about a little bit more, and hopefully, she will be a fun one. I think possibly we'll even develop her more and do some side stories on some of the other characters. So anyway, we are going forward with that. Yes, Cindy. Okay, actually, I'm probably not going to talk about a whole lot more. There was something I was going to bring up, and I can't even remember what it was I was talking about. Oh yeah. I had a really interesting conversation this week. This was huge for me. I can't even believe I forgot just now. I met with one of the former, I guess, corporate marketers for Barnes & Noble. She is a big shot, and she does event planning. She was amazing to talk to, and she was very gracious to sit with me. Hi, David. This applies to you. She sat with me and talked to me a little bit about corporate marketing and how Barnes & Noble works. She talked about her ties into major events, which is what she does, is event planning, including David Silverman and Mike Bierman, the Oscars, Sundance, the Grammys, a bunch of things, and some of the directions that we can go with those. So I'm going to look at those for 2018, and I'll be talking, to a few of the other authors that have ties into Hollywood about what we can do there. But one of the things she brought up, which I thought was really interesting, and I actually need your opinion on this, so please weigh in on this. I truthfully, she said that one of the things I need to do is get an email list going. And I have one. I emailed, if you're on the list, you've gotten some emails. I'm a little leery about doing it because I don't want to bug people. Like, I am not real big about getting emails myself. I got to switch arms. Oh, okay. Sorry about the wiggles. So I don't want to flood people's email boxes with comments and thoughts and stuff like that. But she suggested I do that so that people really like them or respond to them. So I'm asking all of you that are watching, and those of you who pick this up later, put a comment in there and talk about your thoughts about a newsletter from me. And I'll talk about a lot of what we're talking about, some of it, and we might talk about the books and other things. But I promise I won't do more than, I really seriously don't want to do more than one a quarter. At the most, I maybe would do one a month if I have something to say. But I'm not going to flood your email boxes with garbage and nothing to say. So let me know what you think about that. And if you're interested, you can go to my website, martimelville.com. I will put the link to that in the comment section so that you can sign up for the newsletter. And seriously, make notes on the bottom of this, because I really do go back and read what everybody says and then comment. It's hard for me. I have my reading glasses here. I can't see well, I guess I could. Hang on one sec. Okay, now you get to see me in my glasses. Okay. Oh my goodness. Here we go. So we've got lots of people asking questions, so I'll answer them. Okay, so I will answer the questions that you ask in just a minute. But then also, again, the newsletter. So if you want that, sign up on the martimelville.com. The publisher sends out one too, and they do monthly, quarterly, I'm not sure. I know they don't do a lot of them because I'm subscribed to them. So if you want to also get about all of the publishers' events and things that are coming up, you can sign up for theirs on Dosey Glance. All of this will be in the website, and I'll include these really cool boxes. I'll include the Flex, like where to go get the Flex if you want the Flex watch with a book or anything like that. Okay, so speaking of events and fun things to do, SavannahCon's coming up. The Savannah Author Con, oh my gosh, in March. It'll be the 10th through the 12th, and it is freaking going to be fun. There's a book signing at the Pirate House on the 10th, and I think that is at 11. I think it's at 11 a.m. they said. And after the book signing, we're going to just stay, and this is not hosted, so, everybody's on their own. It's all, individual. But this Pirate House is an authentic historical site where pirates really used to meet. It's like one of those old brothel things that you would see in the movies. And they have like trapdoors and hidden paths and things that you can actually go through. They'll tour you through this restaurant and you get to see all this authentic stuff. Savannah's freaking amazing. Oh, so excited to go. And so we're going to have dinner and party there at the Pirate House after the book signing. So that will be on the 10th. Then on the 11th, we have, I think they're trying to get something scheduled for the mornings, but we do have a parade. The Irish Heritage Parade is going to run along Tybee Island, and we are in the parade. So we're going to be there, and then after the parade, everybody's going to meet at Stingray's, which is on Tybee Island. It's a seafood house, and we're going to partay there too. There's going to be surprise there, so you want to be there. It's going to be fun. And then the next day, which is the 12th, Barnes & Noble is having a book signing, and that's at 1 o'clock, and we'll be there for that. And in the Savannah Barnes & Noble, which they do some amazing things at Barnes & Noble there. I think it's the Oglethorpe Mall. I think that's how you say it. The Oglethorpe Mall is where this is. And they do all these little events for kids and support literacy. And so I'm huge and very excited to go meet them and be a part of a book signing event there that they're going to have. In between all of this, I will be doing a cemetery stroll. So if anybody wants to join me on a cemetery stroll, I'm either going to go to the Bonaventure Cemetery or I'm going to go to the city cemetery. I'm not sure. But I'm definitely doing that for research. And then the other thing I'm going to do, we're going to do a party at the Crap Shack. And Barnacle Bill, I guess, is setting this all up. So Barnacle is our host there, so we'll be doing that. So anyway, it's 3 days of just like cram-packed fun stuff that we're going to do. And I hope if anybody's in the Savannah area that you'll be able to join us because it'd be really fun. So that's that. The other thing I wanted to mention, and I'm going to bring this up just quickly because I meant to mention it earlier when Chris was asking about, the books and stuff. I forgot to say this. One of the things that happened this week that I thought was amazing is there's an interview that is done by an author and a screenwriter, and this guy is big shot screenwriter. This guy's daughter's in the Hunger Games, and he's got, oh my goodness, he's got tons of awards, like 45 Hollywood awards. He's freaking amazing. So Mike Bierman is his name, and Mike is writing a book about screenwriting, and he will be coming on with Dulce Blanche, so I can hardly wait to read his book when he gets it done, because I need his tips. But one of the things he told me, which I thought was really good, I was commenting on this interview he did, this podcast that he did. He has a writing technique. He calls it the BAM, and it's his hybrid writing technique for how to write. And so I'm going to, rather than try and explain it, I'm actually going to share the link in the comment sections to this podcast again, or else I'll put it on my website, on my Facebook page, because he's really got some great tips, and it's worth listening to. Like my husband, Mark, was listening as I was listening to the podcast, and he was like all drilled down listening. He says, this is great advice for even novel writers. People that write books need to hear what Mike Bierman has to say about writing. So I'm going to share that, and I know Mike will be looking at this, and hopefully he can weigh in on comments about that. So that's something that I'm going to try and get to all of you. Then again, this was another question that was asked. Okay, somebody asked what I was reading. So I tried, this is so bad. I tried to read The Chemist, which is Stephanie Meyer's, I think it's Stephanie Meyer's latest book. And I couldn't get past 50 pages. So that went back to the library. I kind of have a rule of thumb that if I can't read more than 50 pages, I'm done. And it's just my preference. It has nothing to do with her being a great writer or not a great writer. It's just, I don't get into her writing. I love Robert Ludlum, however. So what am I reading? Somebody asked this. This is my book that I'm reading. It's, if you can see, Alice, written by Kiri Callaghan. Kiri is another author with Dulce Blanche, and I've set a goal for 2017. I'm going to read all of the Dulce Blanche authors' books this year. So I will let you know what I think about them. I'll either post a review or we'll talk about it. But Kiri's book, Alice, is a steampunk fantasy fiction that is freaking awesome, if you like that. And I'm not even a fantasy I don't even like fantasy. So this is really a good book. You guys, anybody who's looking for a good book, and I'll let you know what else I think. Last thing, does anybody want to do a book club online? We had talked about it once. I hadn't really got a whole... Hi, Chase. Hi, Chase Darlington. Oh, my goodness. And Bob Meeks. Yay. I hadn't really gotten a whole lot of responses on that, so I'm going to ask one more time. If anybody wants to do an online book club where we discuss books, and I'm trying to figure out how to do that so that we can do like a go-to-meeting and everybody get on there and just kind of talk about it, let me know, and I'll set it up if you're interested. Lastly, this is my plug. Ballyhoo-hoo, Grandma Ballyhoo-hoo. I have about 5 or 6 copies that I actually got autographed by the illustrator. And I've got my grandson Boone, who is the main character in the story, to autograph it as well. So if you're interested in Ballyhoo-hoo, and you can go in and order it and use that Savannah Con, one word, all capitalized, code and get a discount. And you can get a Ballyhoo-hoo book that is autographed by me and autographed by the illustrator and autographed by Mr. Boone, the pirate. And I will also include a personalized letter like I've been doing with the wax stamp. I don't even know where it is. The wax stamp that is somewhere here on my very cluttered desk. And I'll send you a letter. So go online, go onto my website, go onto Dose Blance. I'll send links. And everybody have a wonderful week. It's a little drizzly outside, so it's the perfect time to write, to read, to watch a great movie. If you're looking for one and you want a really dark one, Taboo is my new one. It is really dark, but I love it. Anyway, so go watch a great movie. If you don't like dark movies, Jerry Lewis is always great. My favorite Jerry Lewis film is Who's Minding the Store. That one kills me. So great movies, great books, do kind things for one another. I'm going to challenge you this week, everybody, to take time to write a letter to someone. Anybody. Write a letter, not email, handwritten letter, and tell them what you like about them and what you appreciate about them. And, try and do something kind for another person. All right. Thanks for watching. Talk to you all. Mwah. Bye, Cindy. I answered your question. Bye-bye. I can't turn it off.